So can a stay-at-home dad get custody, child support, alimony, that kind of thing? That's what we're going to talk about today. Hey, it's Dustin from stayhomedustin.com. I've actually got a whole article about this over on my site at stayhomedustin.com/custody. But I'm just going to give you a quick overview here, and if you want more details, you can go read over there. But basically the answer is yes, stay-at-home dad would be entitled to all of those things. As a primary caregiver, you really have an advantage, and it tips the odds in your favor of getting your children if you go through a divorce. It might seem like the court system is biased against men because they're normally the one working, and it's more likely that there's going to be a stay-at-home mom, so that's why it seems like moms tend to get more custody. But if you're the one that's taking care of the kid and you can prove it, you have a really good shot of getting either full or partial custody. So the things that work in your favor if you go through a divorce when it comes to custody is, the big thing is that you're the primary caretaker of the child, so you know the child better than anybody else, even your spouse probably. You spend all your day with them, so the court might favor continuing the current child's home life, and they might not want to disrupt it. Divorces can be traumatic, so if you can lessen that as much as possible, the judge might take that into account. Courts are normally gender neutral as well. Lots of states and countries have actually rewritten their laws to be more gender neutral, so the majority of custody battles where stay-at-home dads will fight for custody, they'll win. And some things that'll work against you: you might face discrimination. Judges might let their personal feelings override the facts. They might have feelings that the mom should be home with the kid instead of the dad, so that's something to watch out for. Some tips to better your odds at getting custody is to be involved in all aspects of your child's life. If you're already a stay-at-home dad, this is pretty much a given, but you should attend school functions, parent-teacher conferences, social activities, doctor's appointments, sports events, stuff like that, and try to gather and keep proof of what you do as a stay-at-home dad on a daily basis as much as possible, whether that's like taking pictures out with your kid, stuff like that. And don't poorly talk about your spouse in front of your children. It just makes the kids feel worse about the divorce. It doesn't accomplish anything, and judges don't really tolerate that. The next thing is try and have witnesses. So these are impartial people that have seen you and your child interacting. They can kind of give testimony about your relationship with the child. For example, parents that you know at school, from the playground, from play dates, things like that. And be ready to negotiate. In divorces, there's a lot of give and take. It's unlikely that you'll get 100% of what you want. So pick your battles and be a bit flexible. Don't just hold out for what you think is best, because you might end up not getting anything. And of course, there's always alternatives to divorce as well. So before you think about getting divorced, I'd recommend trying out marriage counseling, unless there's something extreme like abuse or something going on. Marriage counselors usually cost between $75 and $150 an hour, and they recommend that you go for at least 12 weeks of sessions, one per week. It seems like a lot, but if you can save your marriage, it'll save you a lot more time and trouble in the long run. There's also legal separation, so this is creating a division when it comes to child custody and finances between you and your spouse. The big difference is that you're still legally married, so you need to say that you're married on forms. You can't remarry until you get divorced, and your spouse can still inherit everything that you own upon death. So that can be good if you're not 100% sure if you want to get divorced. You think things might work out, you might want to just separate first. And the last option is mediation. So divorce mediation usually costs about $7,000, while a contested divorce costs about $13,000. So if you think that you might be able to work things out, going through a mediator might be a good option. They can be a lawyer, they cannot be, but they'll need a good understanding of family law either way. You still want to consult your own attorney before you sign any final divorce settlement, but it can be a good way to reduce expenses and reach a faster settlement. The big thing is that if it doesn't work out, you might have to go out to court anyways, and that can be worse in the long run. So Yeah, I've written a bunch more about this topic as well. I'm getting over 5 minutes. I'm going to try and keep this short. But if you want to learn more about stay-at-home dads and when it comes to like custody, child support, things like that, go to stayatHomeDustin.com/custody and check out my blog there. Thanks for watching. Feel free to give me a like if this was helpful. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you next time.